Awesome. You guys are awesome. Great job. There you go. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the 62nd Commencement exercises and honoring the class of 2021 at Willowbrook High School. It is so good to see all of you and to have you joining us as we celebrate this class of warriors. We're excited, obviously, to honor them and their accomplishments and to recognize all of their continued success that they will have well beyond their days here at Willowbrook High School. But today is about them. It's about you. This is your day, your moment that your name is read, signifying that you have accomplished so many things well beyond just requirements for graduation, but by just being who you are as a class. We'll talk about that in just a little bit, but I want to thank all of you for joining in this celebration, as well as members of our DuPage High School District 88 Board of Education who are in attendance. The first is the President of the Board of Education, a proud graduate of Willowbrook High School, Miss Donna Kraft Kane. The Vice President of the Board of Education, Mr. Dan Olson. Board member and proud parent of a graduate today, Ms. Chris Poyer. Board member and another proud parent of a graduate today, Ms. Diana Stout. And board member and proud parent of Willowbrook High School graduates, Ms. Jean Taylor. Also joining us from our DuPage High School District 88 District Administration, I'd like to welcome and introduce a very dear friend, our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Jean Barbonente. And certainly no stranger to Willowbrook High School, our Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum Instruction, Ms. Yvonne Sagalas. As well as our Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Ed Hoster. Also joining us on stage are two members of the class of 2021, Ms. Sarah Fairbank and Ms. Elizabeth Martinenko. Before we begin, there are two groups that we'd like to be sure that we acknowledge and thank for helping us begin the ceremony. The first is that amazing choir under the direction of Ms. Karen Wolcott and accompanied by Ms. Linda Radke. And the amazing members of our orchestra under the direction of Mr. Jan Bobek. And once again, thank you to all of you who are joining us in person today. We recognize that there are individuals who are with us but not able to be here. We also recognize that there are individuals who are unable to be here but we know are present with us today. The first is our former superintendent, Dr. Scott Helton, who is a champion for every one of you. Every piece of work that happened within DuPage High School District 88, he passionately gave all he had to be sure that you were successful. As well as one of your own classmates in the class of 2021 graduate, Mr. Ted Doyle. We thank the Doyle family for having joined us for the ceremony as well in Ted's honor. So I do ask that in their honor, as well as all those others that are unable to be with us today, that we recognize and take a moment of silence. Thank you. As we begin our ceremony today, it is truly an honor and a privilege to celebrate these graduates and to introduce our first speaker for the morning, Ms. Elizabeth Martinenko.
Hello, class of 2021. We've made it. We're here. We've endured and conquered the hardships and struggles that persisted for the last year and made it out. This is it. Our time at Willowbrook is ending, and what a time it has been. From being freshmen who had no clue what was going on to our tumultuous senior year, the class of 2021 has definitely had its ups and downs. This last year may have consisted of canceled events and online Zoom classes, but that has never diminished us as a class. We took our experiences and we made the best of our last year at Willowbrook. The class of 2021's legacy is what we have endured. Our lasting impression will be of this pandemic and the strength of this class to withstand the obstacles since March of 2020. Since we were freshmen, we have always been taught that we are one school and one family, and I can say today that it holds true. The pandemic may have physically distanced us from one another, but we held on together and we persisted as a class. Now, class of 2021, I want you to think back. Think back to your years at Willowbrook. What are you personally leaving behind? Every one of us, as an individual and as a class, has left a legacy. Whether it was academically or in our extracurriculars, we will all leave something behind. As a class, we raised thousands of dollars for cancer research through Relay for Life, won numerous awards and conferences in respective sports and extracurriculars, and triumphed in many class competitions. These are the accomplishments that define our legacy. We have always given our best in everything that we have done, and that spirit will stay with us as we move on, no matter where we end up. Now, for our futures, our class is attending university at 74 different schools across 23 states and 2 countries. Many will also be pursuing trade schools, the military, and other career opportunities. Our future is ahead of us, but our time at Willowbrook will always be a part of our lives and our past. Looking back, high school was difficult. It was difficult to navigate around socially and physically. The hallways always seemed like a maze. All of us had a rough patch where it was hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel, especially when we first got here. It was a rough start, but in the end, we all found our niche and something to strive for. Most of us are now looking forward to a future beyond Willowbrook and beyond the people we grew up with. But the memories that we made with faculty and our fellow classmates will stay with us wherever we go. The faculty at Willowbrook have done more than just teach us in the classroom. They have shaped us as adults rather than just students. They shaped our minds and helped build our characters to what they are today, on top of teaching us to thoroughly annotate any novel and accurately calculate the half-life of nitrogen. The faculty at Willowbrook provided us with the materials to build a future of our own. So, can I get a round of applause for the administration, the teachers, and all the faculty who have brought us to this point? And please, a round of applause for the amazing class of 2021. Congratulations, we did it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Our next speaker is... Usually I blow the speakers, so that's a good sign. So our next speaker is Miss Sarah Fairbank.
Socrates' Dialogues and Credo, Martin Luther King Jr.'s A Letter from Birmingham Jail, and Nelson Mandela's autobiography are among the most influential works of Western civilization. And they're all written from isolation. I would love to say that after being in quarantine myself for almost a year, and with the entire world in shutdown, I had the inspiration to write this speech. However, to make that claim would be a great insult to the above influencers. But all I will say is if you find yourself zoning out, pretend I took my older brother's advice and made this a 20-minute murder mystery podcast, all leading up to the final whodunit at the end. Now, when I was younger, someone once shared a parable with me, and ever since it has served as an endless source of inspiration and strength in my life. And while it is religious in nature, its overarching lesson can be applicable to everyone's lives, no matter your personal beliefs. It's about a man who couldn't handle his life's sufferings and pleaded with God to replace his burdens with anyone else's in the world. However, to his great surprise, he ended up finding that everyone else's challenges and obstacles were unbearable, and the only ones he was able to handle were his own. Now, I share this with the hope that no matter where you find your inspiration, you will embrace 2 cardinal reminders as you prepare to embark on your unique journey after graduation. First is the idea that everyone struggles, everyone stresses, and everyone has obstacles they have to overcome in their life. However, everyone's challenges are unique, which mirrors our individuality. Each of us is able to handle and overcome our challenges because of our unique situations. So I urge you all to take a moment and think about your differences. Think about the elements in life that you are blessed with, that make you who you are. Maybe you have a supportive family, a group of friends you can always lean on, inspirational teachers, unique cultural traditions, rare interests and talents, or maybe you're blessed with realizing the Chicago Cubs are the best team in baseball. Whatever the intangibles are, I urge you to spend a few moments thinking about them and to count your blessings, because it's those blessings and differences between you and your neighbor that has rendered you capable of overcoming your unique challenges thus far, and it is those blessings and differences that will empower you to overcome any challenges in the future. At times, it's so easy to wish you were someone else, to stop and think, if only I were them. But chances are, you're not made to carry their burdens, and as easy as their life appears, for all you know, they may have a pre-calculus exam the next period, to which you will find yourself desperately pleading for your own situation. So instead of wishing to carry someone else's adversities, choose to carry yours, because you are the only person who's able to do so. This brings me to the second lesson. Your greatest sufferings in life can turn into your greatest blessings if you choose to keep fighting. In 5th grade, I was diagnosed with a rare chronic illness, an illness that makes simple things like taking a shower, eating food, and even going to school impossible feats on certain days. However, what I never could have predicted are the unparalleled and unexpected blessings that have come from it. And looking back, I would never trade it for the world. Struggles of dealing with my illness ended up enriching me and my family's indissoluble relationship. It unveiled for me the joy in true friendships, and perhaps most unexpectedly, it helped me realize the greater purpose of an education, allowing for the discovery of truth which orients my life to what matters most. My illness ended up fostering in me a love of learning and the classroom so strong that I developed an overwhelming passion to become a high school teacher. While this is just my story, I urge every single one of you to keep fighting, to push through whatever obstacles and challenges you may face, because it is the moments when you least expect that you may uncover life's greatest unexpected blessings. Now, in a few minutes, each of us will walk across this stage, receive our diploma, and graduate a Willowbrook warrior. However, before we do so, there's one last message I hope each of you will consider, and that is to say thank you. Take a second and think about the people who enabled your resiliency, and remember to thank them. Write them a letter or an email, or if possible, look them in the eye and genuinely thank them. I wouldn't be telling my story if I didn't mention my parents who unconditionally support me. Teachers like Mr. McGuire and Mr. Clapper, who made sure that even on my toughest days, I never lost my passion for learning. And finally, all of you, for the lasting influence that all the last memories and companionship, both in person and on Zoom, will continue to have on me. A huge part of what allows us to overcome our obstacles is realizing how blessed we are, and none of us would be walking across this stage if it weren't for other people in our lives. So on behalf of all the students, I want to say thank you to everyone who has made our stories possible. To the administration, who tirelessly works for the common good of all students. To the amazing teachers, who selflessly mentored us through our high school journey and fostered our love of learning. To the counselors, deans, and social workers who are always willing to drop everything and help us in our times of need. To the cafeteria workers, custodians, maintenance employees, secretaries, teacher aides, librarian, and IT staff who keep our school running smoothly and never miss a beat. And finally, to all the parents, grandparents, families, and guardians who instilled in us the values and morals that have helped us be successful and who have never stopped loving us. Thank you. Now, before everyone starts wishing I went with the 20-minute murder mystery speech, I have one final invocation. To my fellow classmates, we're all about to step into a world of new struggles and adversities, be it at college, the workforce, trade schools, the military, and so on. But whatever obstacles the future holds, embrace the challenges, choose to keep fighting, and remember that the heaviest burdens often carry the greatest unexpected blessings. Thank you.
Thank you again to Elizabeth and Sarah. And honestly, they took everything that I was going to say. So I had a speech, it was ready to go. I had all the things, and then they came up and just killed it, right? So one more round of applause for them, please. Tremendous words and tremendous examples for the class of 2021 and for all of you. Again, thank you for being here to celebrate this amazing class. As we said at the very beginning, this is a celebration of your work, and a work that is unlike any other. And I know you have heard those words over and over and over again. But the difference is this. When we speak about being one school and one family for all warriors, you live it. In the moments when we had to stand together to fight against racism, bias, prejudice, to be sure that our family was stronger than ever, you not only engaged, you stood up and you led us. You sat side by side with our staff to have the conversations to be sure that we stay an inclusive family for every single one of our students. And I thank you for that. You also persevered through times of challenges that are well documented, but the reality is you will document history in a way like no other as you move forward, because you'll do that together. You found ways to connect that have never existed. You found ways to be sure that your classmates were taken care of that were never thought of before. You found ways to be sure that us as a school community and staff stayed connected. That defines who you are as a person. You're here today as a graduate of the class of 2021 as a Willowbrook Warrior, but the reality is that every one of you has lived exactly what we'd hoped for. You've become part of something bigger than just yourself. Your individual accomplishments are amazing. I have a whole list of them. I'm going to read a few. But the reality is that to a person sitting here today, you've had a unique journey, and that journey is one that's just beginning. So please, as you move forward, let us know all the amazing things that you accomplish, because you're going to do them together. You're going to do them as a warrior. You're going to do that as a graduate, but you're going to do that as a great human being. And you will always define yourself in the ways that your actions, not your words, the ways that you've stayed connected as a class, the way that you've helped us stay connected as a school family. And for all of you that are here today to honor them, they're here because of you. They're here because of the perseverance, the commitment, and the dedication. And to our amazing staff members, and our Board of Education, and our administration, we do this together every single day. It's why we are here today. And I appreciate that Sarah mentioned the building and ground staff, because you have to know that between the two ceremonies, they cleaned the entire main gym for us so that we remain safe, that we could do this together and celebrate this moment with the class of 2021. So as you think about your accomplishments throughout high school, whether it be in Brook Catering, preschool, TCD, Skills USA, BPA, and keep on going, the service that you've done outside of the group, to the 9 Eagle Scouts that are represented in the class of 2021, to the members of the class of 2021 who have served in the armed forces, thank you. Thank you. For those members that will serve in the armed forces, I would like to take a moment, if you wouldn't mind, please standing, because I think for the dedication that you have, including Andrew Rugg, who will be going to the U.S. Naval Academy. I told Dr. Barbanetti just a second ago, I don't know that there's a more inclusive district out there in terms of representation of who we are as a school family and a community. We have nearly 2,000 students, more than 40 different languages, and we represent every race, religion, ethnicity, culture, socioeconomic status across the board. And we love it. It's who we are, it defines us, and we celebrate every moment of that. So as we celebrate the class of 2021, know this: you have left us a better place. You've left a legacy. You've not only defined yourselves as amazing individuals, but you define yourself as an amazing class of Willowbrook Warriors. Congratulations to the class of 2021. So it is now my honor and privilege as the principal of this great school to present the class of 2021 to the Board of Education as having fulfilled all of your requirements to receive your diploma. I'd like to now introduce the board president, Ms. Donna Kraft-Kane.
On behalf of the DuPage High School District 88 Board of Education, I would also like to welcome everyone to this year's Willowbrook graduation ceremony. Today, we are grateful to be able to be together to celebrate the class of 2021. This year, we have faced many challenges and disappointments. As mentioned by Dr. Krause, the heartbreaking loss of our superintendent, Dr. Scott Helton, and your classmate, Ted Doyle. I have served on the school board since 2004, in which, if I did my math correctly, it means that most of you were just taking your first steps when I came onto this board. Between Willowbrook and Addison Central High School, I've had the pleasure to see about 16,000 graduates walk across this stage. Honestly, this class will be one of the most memorable, and I can't wait to see the mark you will leave upon the world. This class has demonstrated resilience, persistence, tenacity, flexibility, and empathy. You have mastered Zoom and Google Classroom, but most importantly, you have learned to focus on the positives, to keep your eye on the future, to overcome adversity, and turn those challenges into opportunities. Sometimes the things that are the most precious to us are the things that we have to work the hardest for. I was thinking that a good symbol for this year is a pearl. A pearl is formed when an irritant like a piece of sand somehow enters the inside of the oyster. Instead of ejecting the object or irritant, the object is covered by the oyster with a layer upon layer of secretion from its own body. The object that came into the life of the oyster is an irritant. Instead of being cast out, it is turned into something lovely within the oyster. The past 15 months have been very difficult, but through these frustrations and irritants, you have learned many valuable, priceless lessons, and you've become stronger and more prepared for the future. You have achieved at high levels, whether it is via Zoom or socially distanced with wearing a mask. Each of those accomplishments are examples of the pearls you have created this past year. The author Joyce Heffler wrote that life is made up of a few moments all strung together like pearls. Each moment is a pearl, and it is up to us to pick the ones with the highest luster. If we do not have time to do great things, take a few gentle moments and do small things in a great way. I want to thank each of you for restoring my hope in the future. And on behalf of the DuPage High School District 88 Board of Education, I accept the class of 2021 and confirm that you have completed all of the requirements of District 88 and are eligible to receive your diplomas. Remember, the world is your oyster. It's up to you to find the pearls.
It's now that time. The class of 2021, please prepare to accept your diplomas. At the conclusion of the ceremony, the graduates will recess through the main gym and outside. You can meet your graduate outside. We do ask that you please silence all cell phones and hold applause until the final graduate has crossed the stage. Once again, the class of 2021, congratulations, and please prepare to accept your diplomas.
Clara Lane, Colin Lawrence Lane, Julia Joy Latta, Wuzma Latif, Alan Anthony Lenhart, Kenya Larae Lewis, Katie Libner, Natalie Litton, Paula Rosa Lizzo-Swain, Crystal Diamond Lobermere, Angie Lopez, Jonathan Abel Leal, Jasmine Guadalupe Lopez, Cecilio Lopez Camposeco, Magali Lopez Hernandez, Alejandra Lopez Shahagan, Caitlin Jane Marr, Justin Malik, Jesus Jalen Marlowe, Ariana Nicole Villarreal, Kimberly Nicole Martinez, Melissa Abigail Martinez, Nicholas Alexander Martinez, Elizabeth Martinenko, Mame Anta Mambaye, Connor James McDermott, Carson McDonald, Jessica Jean McEllen, Cole William McGinnis, Shannon McGran, Sherelle McNeil, James Thomas McTee, Michaela Rain Mayer, Maria Guadalupe Mendoza Ontiveros, Jenna Marie Miola, Anasera G. Micheletti, Ashley Lynn Micah, Caitlin Militello, Benjamin Allen Miller, Genesis Nichelle Miller, Amina Shahid Mirza, Hiba Mirza, Usman Mirza, Peyton Lynn Mitrick, Khadija Abdi Muhammad, Huraya S. Muhammad, Amina Fatima Mahuddin, Kaylin Aria Monday, Lily Morgan, Kylie Mabel Ann Moses, Alyssa Marie Moss, Taylor Rose Mueller, Margaret Myers, Zubia Nu Fasit,
Kelly Nava Rivera, Madi Ben Usmain Unayo, Oliver Nelson, Jayla Shani Lauren Nelson, Nathan James Nichols, Sean Henry Nillis, Joseph Ira Nitko Jr., Ivan Olivares Cervantes, Marco Antonio Oliveros, Diego Orizaba, Ernesto Antonio Ortiz, Zoe G. Newman Payne, William Tyler Otaki, Priscilla Celeste Pacheco, Fatima Pedrosa, Katie Emily Perez, Cartier Kevan Perry, Sean Thomas Pincos. Sophia Pierce. Should I scream it like I do? Troy Darren Palafas. Michael Patrick Poyer. Jesslyn Posada. Haven Javon Pryor. Kira Pyburn. Karar Syed Farat Kasim. Michelle Elizabeth Quaver. Caitlin Grace Quinn. Jaylyn Nicole Randall. Nicole Marie Rapaz. Jonathan Ramos. Gabriel James Michael Regan Cloutier. Megan Lorraine Regan. Grace Marie Reckamp. Lydia Renee Rennie. Jaylene Reyes. Erica Rose Rich. Luis Rivera. Alyssa Marie Robinson. Anaya Ariel Robinson. Julian Francisco Rodriguez Cabrera. Tiffany Lisbeth Rodriguez Rios. Kylie Rogers. Giovanni Romero. Madison Page True Rhonda. Marco Antonio Rosario. Andrew Rugg. Emily Ruiz. Jenna Mabel Rust. Brennan Edward Sacco. Yava Sagaitis. Madiha Sahar. Daniel Sanchez. Elizabeth Sanchez. Leonardo Sanchez IV. Brandon Sanders. Isabella Sandoval. Gilberto Marcos Santiago. William Hunter Schulk. Cecilia Lynn Sheeler. Jamie Elaine Schrader. Jenna Louise Schrader. Annika Jade Schramek, Jacqueline Christine Shiro, Sherry Lynn Marie Schroeder.
Alexander Anthony Shulo. Angel Jesus Serrano. Travis Carey Settles. Huzaifa Muhammad Sheikh. Fatimir Shemeti. Sean Robert Shepard. Mahira Shudalato. Sorry. Noreen Siddiqui. Raza Udin Siddiqui. Hiba Siddiqui. Saman Sindhu. Micah David Slynn. Madison Liga Smikursky. Allison Grace Smith. Dylan Gregory Smith. Casper Smalucha. Gavin Robert Smers. Olivia Grace Sobieschek. Isabel Alana Solis. Samantha Solis. Mia Sosa. Jocelyn Soto. Julia Rose Soto. Abigail Spada. Antoine Diozene Lamar Stanberry. Justice Starr. Connor Thomas Staunton. Elena Grace Stratton. Vincent Suhiro. Elizabeth Sula. Anastasia Swerk. Deanna Nicole Tate. Tad Chop. John Tennant. Jimena Tepos. Terrace Thornton. Alexander Tobias. Jennifer Trujillo. Cole Charles Tusabat. Grace Karen Tumulty. Anna Catherine Timoshenko. Ruben Valle Jr. Jessica Valois. Lillian Marina Vega. Leila Vehebergek. Alexis Renee Venegas. Daisy Vergara. Daniel Waddle. April Helene Woleski. Deshaun Lamel Walker.
Isabella Nicole Wally. Jack Walsh. Maya M. Washington. Jack Weaver. Catherine Ann Wilnowski. Brooke Amanda Winkus. Kylie Lynn Wesley. Jason Whitehair. Riley Jean Wieringa. Samantha Amanda Williams. Gabrielle Elizabeth Wilson. Abigail Elizabeth Wren. Brianna Michelle Wright. Jeffrey Yu. Robert Zita. Victoria Ivanova Zlatkova. Jason Cox. Thomas Flory. Tyler Clifton Farrell.
Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2021. No.